Okay, so good evening, everyone. It's episode 4 of On Your Left podcast with Ritesh, your boy, and my boy Ash.
Is it now?
Is it now? So yeah, Ash is in the building, man. I'm proper happy. You guys might have seen him on the podcast that me, Ash, Vish, and my mate Sanena did like almost a year ago. And so me and Ash have been planning this for a while now. And the reason I wanted to speak to Ash today was because, number one, he's like one of my best mates from uni for almost 15 years.
Yeah, no, yes, 15, 16 years.
15, 16 years. Yeah. So number one, because of that. Number two, he's just like one of the kindest guys I know. And number three, he's like super creative. And number four, he's always just been like pretty consistent with, like his gym workouts and
try to be. I haven't been recently.
That's okay. We all have ups and downs, but I also just think that me and Ash always have like real kind of great conversations, and this would be a real cool platform to speak to you, Ash. And the reason why I thought we should speak is because I thought we would speak about Crossroads. Because knowing you, I know there's been a few instances in your life where you've come to crossroads and you've had to make like maybe difficult decisions. And so the way I've seen it, you've always been very like
lucky.
Some would say lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, you might say lucky. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's why I wanted you to be here. What's your thoughts on Crossroads when I just bring that up? Like, we had a little bit of a discussion about what we were going to talk about, but what's your?
Are you talking about the song, or are you talking about
talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro?
Principles, or just crossroads in life? Well, I'm assuming it's crossroads in life, right? So, getting deep and meaningful.
Yeah.
It's just a point in your life where, you come to a choice, and each choice is a very important choice. It's quite life-changing.
Yeah.
Depending on where you choose to go. So in what direction. And I've had some good ones. So
yeah. Well, the first one that comes to mind for me is when like we had just finished uni. And it was like, we had finished uni, and I think like everyone is kind of like working, and I think at that point you weren't working.
Yeah.
And you'd come to a point where you were like, shit, I don't know, like I'm kind of like running out of money kind of thing, and I don't know what to do. But you had this like, I mean, I don't know if you want to tell the story actually.
Yeah. I think it was around recession.
Yeah.
It was really difficult to get a job, and doing freelance, and I was pretty much living off my student loan. And obviously that's going to run out, or that was running out. And I was applying everywhere. Maybe I could have, applied in a smarter way, but I just didn't know back then. I was just printing off CVs, going to Asda, handing them out, going to shops in town. I wasn't really looking online as much.
Isn't it weird to think that like now it's all online?
Everything.
And then we were printing stuff out back then.
I was printing out CVs.
And only like 12 years, 14 years ago. Yeah. It's quite a long time ago actually.
It's quite a long time ago, yeah. So, so come out of uni, and I think like tried a few things actually. With a couple of friends, we were trying to set up a business. So trying to keep busy. I mean, we won the dough, but it's because we had to, because we were running out of money, and they help you find jobs, not necessarily the jobs that you want, but it's irrelevant.
And what like, just to give insight, like what was your like interest? What did you really want to do when you came out of uni?
So when I came out of uni, I wasn't doing no work. Like I was working with my dad, who's a mechanic. So, helping fixing cars and things like that. But it doesn't really count. So I'm not going to count that as much because, you know, I wasn't getting any like real world experience, you know, like from what I wanted. So what I studied at university was multimedia computing, and yeah, that's everything creative, you know, anything from animations, video, like photography. It's just making things look sexy online. That's you know, in a digital environment. And that's what it was.
The reason I laugh. You know why I laugh?
Yeah, I know what you're
This guy's the most. I think I did say it in the other podcast, but this guy's like the most like creative person. Yeah, he'll spend like this is the only like funny like look at there's tons of funny memories from uni, but my man would spend like an hour, like a whole semester creating like a button in Flash for a project that needed to be due in. He'd spend like the whole time like creating this one button in Adobe Flash. For you youngsters who don't know what Adobe Flash is, Flash was pretty epic back then.
I think it was Macromedia. Macromedia Flash, yeah.
Macromedia.
Yeah, and then Adobe bought Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would spend like his whole life creating a button, and like Photoshop, it would be like the epic button, yeah. And he'd spend his whole time doing it. And then it would come to like the deadline and be like, Ash, like, have you even started the project? Have you started the project, mate? And he's like, yeah, like, I'm just doing the button. And then like the next thing you know, we've all gone home for like, you know, to sleep because we've like nearly finished our project. Ash has done a whole all-nighter and he's completed the project.
I've got it done, yeah.
Yeah.
But within that one button, you think it's just a button. But within that button, I've got the color scheme, got the branding, got the style, and it just inspires me. And yeah, that's the way I used to work back then. But yeah, we got it done.
Yeah.
Always used to meet at what you call the university post box.
Yeah.
You need to hand in the assignment. So yeah, good times.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the job story. So yeah, I mean, you know, just wasn't finding anything. And then I did start applying online. Actually, I think, you know, I don't know, maybe 6 months down the line or a year. Eventually, I had to. And I started getting interviews. So I remember I got a phone call from Sega, and they just rang me. Nothing to do with the job. They just rang me to say, listen, like, you know, we haven't got vacancies, but we just want to say your CV it looks amazing. It's designed really well. And I thought, okay, thanks. Yeah. It was a bit of a boost, but it didn't lead nowhere.
Yeah. That must have been amazing because you're such a game person.
Yeah. I'm a big gamer. PS4. Haven't got the PS5 yet, but there's no point yet. Just bought the Switch, which is pretty good. So I was applying. I was getting interviews, so I knew I had the potential. I was getting interest, but I just wasn't getting any offers. And then, you know, weeks had passed and then months had passed, and I just thought, listen, you know, I'd rather just get a sort of retail job just to like tide me over. And then I was thinking about applying to Poundland. I think one of my friends was working there at the time. So yeah, that weekend I was going to apply for Poundland, and I applied for a job. Was it on a Friday? And that weekend I was really like, you know, thinking about applying to Poundland and getting my CV ready. I think I was like, you know, I wanted to print it out. Yeah. And then I happened just to get a phone call on Monday saying, look, you know, you've got the job. And it was for a junior digital designer in central London. Yeah. For a company called Kaplan. Yeah. And yeah, the rest was history. Yeah, I held out. Yeah. I held out all the way up to that crossroad. Yeah. You know, I could have been working for, I mean, even if I started or I got the job at Poundland or any retail store, I would have just quit instantly.
Yeah, of course.
Just gone for this, you know, started my career. So, and it's really tough to find a job that, you know, that is relative to your university degree. And so that's where I'm super lucky. Yeah.
Dramatically kind of moved your career in a different direction. And I think you would have obviously quit Poundland, but it's just not that there's anything wrong with working in Poundland or anything, but you know, you just don't know where you could have gone from there. Like you could have got really hyped about working in Poundland.
Yeah.
And then, you know, become like a store manager, to be fair. So there's any way you can go. But I think knowing you and knowing like how creative you were in uni with like some of the, like even some of the like animations you made, some like there's one video on YouTube which is just the sickest.
The evolution of animation.
Evolution of animation. Yeah. I just think, man, how did you even think of that, man?
Yeah.
That was really cool. And so, yeah, that's why I thought, you know, that's a really cool story about just holding out and things come to you at the right time.
At the right time, yeah. There's that image, but you see two people digging.
Yeah.
And you see one person, they're both underground and they're both digging a tunnel.
Yeah.
And one person gives up.
Yeah.
And literally behind like another half foot of dirt are a stack of diamonds.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
It's just that consistency, right? Yeah. And obviously, you know, a lot of stamina.
Yeah.
So,
you got to keep chipping.
You got to keep chipping away, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great, man. It's great. And I think that's like key, especially with like youngsters who probably don't know it. But yeah, you should keep chipping away.
Yeah. Like this whole, nowadays it's all about like instant gratification. Yeah. You know, you want something, you just order on Amazon, you get next day delivery. Yeah. You want to watch a movie, you don't need to go to Blockbusters, rent it out.
Yeah.
You know, you can just Netflix it, or, you know, Amazon Prime. It's all there for you. So yeah. I mean, with that comes a lot more opportunities, but just that whole, the mindset is different nowadays compared to how it was. Yeah, a lot could be said. We could do a whole other podcast on that. Yeah, but
yeah, we could. You know, we could. So yeah, man, thanks for sharing that, because I think like it is a good one to share. I guess a second more serious one. Was, you know, in 2013.
2013. Yeah.
Shit. So like 8 years ago? Oh, 7.5 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
So yeah, 2013, big year for you. And in fact, I remember it was a big year because for some reason, I remember you just being in the best shape of your life at that time.
At that time, I was really thin, but I was like ripped then.
Yeah. You were like in really good shape. I was like, damn, like what have you been doing? I think, was that after
MFT 28 I was doing?
MFT 28? Yeah. With Greg Plitt.
Yeah.
Legend, yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah. Did you do the whole diet plan and everything? Like,
no, I didn't. But I was vegetarian then.
Yeah.
I was vegetarian. I just did Vipassana.
Yeah.
Which is 10-day silent meditation retreat. Was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I was just on a vegan diet there.
Yeah.
And I've always had like skin issues, like acne my whole life. But when I went there and I was just eating vegan, my skin all cleared up.
Yeah.
Like I worked with a team of girls.
Yeah.
And I came back and everyone was like, "Oh my God, what have you done to your skin?" I went like, "What? What the hell?" And I thought, damn, it's got to be meat causing me like skin issues. And I just became vegetarian. Yeah. And it's just, it limited the options. Yeah. Like a lot of fast food. Like now it's sort of, obviously there's an abundance of vegan and vegetarian fast food, but before there were only a few things you could get. Yeah. And so it worked out for me, and I was in the right shape. Do you want to just very quickly, do you want to touch upon just the Vipassana? Because I think that's really interesting how you went there, and like it would be great to just hear like a little bit of insight into that as well. Again, another thing we could talk for days about, but I'd be quite interested in hearing that. So Vipassana, it's a type of meditation. You go away to a retreat. It's 10 days of silence, with no distractions. So no contact to the outside world, no electronic devices, no talking to each other. I know it sounds like a cult, but it's not. It's really not. And it is a community, and it's not a cult. So they're two different things. But it was really, really eye-opening. I mean, a lot of the stuff there was like the principles they teach you. There's only a certain amount that I can speak about it, because if you want to go and experience it for yourself, it might kind of ruin your own experience.
Yeah.
But what it is you're not supposed to have any, you're supposed to let go of like religious beliefs as well. You're just supposed to go into there with a neutral mindset. So no preconceived ideas. And yeah, you just question everything, and there's nothing malicious. It's just everything from like a spiritual point of view. And yeah, I learned a lot. And meditating from like 4:30 in the morning to like 9:30 at night, obviously with breaks and things in between, was just physically I've never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
But that kind of mindset I was always interested in.
Yeah.
You know, I've been a big fan of Bruce Lee and like Kung Fu, martial arts, Shaolin, and so I always like read up about things like this. But actually doing it in a kind of tangible form where you're sat down in that environment,
Yeah.
you know, and you can't really get distracted. And so yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's totally free, so yeah, you just sign up, and you just need to give a charitable donation at the end of it, according to like the value you got out of it. But yeah, that was a great experience, and recommended by my boy Ritz.
Yeah. Well, it was recommended to me by one of my good friends. So
passing it on,
isn't it?
Yeah.
What was like? Is there anything from Vipassana that you maybe utilize every day, or does it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Does it, because it was like, you know, 8 years ago now. But is there like anything that comes to you like maybe daily, or like you think about, or
you know, when you're like when people say don't think about anything, and people think, oh, like it's impossible. It's not. Like what you're thinking about is not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And then when you're breathing, then your concentration is on your breath, and you need something to focus on. Like if you're staring at a white piece of paper and someone says focus on one point, you're going to look at that paper and you're just going to be like, oh, what the hell? But if I draw like a black dot in the middle of a white piece of paper, you can't help but concentrate at that point. So that's what it does. It hones your mind, your concentration, and it turns it acute. So yeah, it's things like when you're going through pain, especially for training, like when you're doing like a plank, you think, oh God, you know, how am I going to get through this or whatever? And then, you just think of those principles and you try to take your mind away from your body. It sounds a bit woo-woo, but once you experience it, you think differently.
Yeah. Good. I really like the paper, and it really does make sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Thanks for just sharing that about the Vipassana. You'd clearly recommend it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's for everyone. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of people left when they went to this 10-day meditation retreat. It's very taxing on your body and on your mind. And the whole point of going to it is like when you go to the gym, you stress your muscles. They hurt, but they grow back stronger. And that's the point. So when you're meditating and the exercise they teach you, they're giving your mind reps in order to sort of face the modern world. And if you did that and meditated daily, you wouldn't be a snowflake. You know, you wouldn't be sensitive to things. You would understand like the saying of like, just let it go, because people, that's so powerful. You know, when someone says something to you and you hold on to it, naturally I would hold on to things, you know. But you can also be like, you know, unnaturally natural, you know, or naturally unnatural. You know, I got that from Bruce Lee, so I'm not gonna take
Bruce
that credit.
Lee coming out there,
So yeah, it can help with a lot of things like depression, stress, all these or mental health that happens, which is a very common thing nowadays. Or at least it's just more apparent, and people speak about it.
People talk about it more, right?
Yeah. So it'll help with all of that. And, you know, and so would you rather go to a meditation sort of camp or learn about meditation, or would you, you know, pop a pill in order to like chemically, you know, sedate you and, you know, you want to tackle the root problem, and that's what meditation does.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah. And so thanks for sharing that, because I guess it now then just brings us on to like, the second story that I was thinking of when we were thinking about Crossroads.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'll get you to just jump into it really, because, it's your story, and, for the people that are around you at the time when that happened, the situation, it was like I don't think I realized how bad a situation was. Like when basically what happened is Vish called me and he's like, Ash is in hospital. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm sure he's fine. And then he was like, no, like, he's bad. And I was like, nah, I'm sure I thought he was just blowing it out of proportion. And I think I've said it to you later I was like, shit, man. Like, I felt so bad because I didn't realize the extent of the situation. But, I guess like, if you want to just go into everything that happened that led for you to be in hospital and then like this road to recovery, that'd be really cool, man.
I mean, I've documented everything on a YouTube video. It's called Road to Recovery. So that is a comprehensive version of this story, with visuals and everything. And it's not for the faint-hearted, because it shows, pictures and videos of quite graphic things. But yeah, the general gist, and which is relative to what this podcast is about, Crossroads. So it happened on a Friday night. I was coming back from London, and I was just out with my colleagues. I think it was someone's birthday, and then I had a bit of an early one. Came back, went to the train station, and jumped into my car and made my way home. And then while driving home, I approached these crossroads, and I think the crossroads are Tons Lane in Slough. And I stopped at the traffic lights. And I think this story, like, I've told this to you quite a bit, and you'll hear it anyway in the video, and I've told quite a lot of people. But I had this, I was hungry. I was really hungry, right? And I was thinking, I can go straight to go home, or I can take a right and go get a halloumi wrap, because I was vegetarian. Even if you're not, halloumi wraps are great.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. And I just had some halloumi now. It was great. It's great.
It looked good, man.
Yeah. So I took that right turn. I thought, I'm hungry. I got to follow my stomach. So I took that right turn, and then after that right turn, I just had this feeling come over me that I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done it. Just like, that gut feeling you get. I wholeheartedly believe in listening to your gut feeling. It's there for a reason, and it's just helped me countless times in the past. But yeah, I took that right turn. So I was driving, and what eventually happened, I was hit head on by a drunken driver. He just come from the other side of the road, hit me head on, and next thing I know, I'm in hospital. I mean, the crash was bad. Bone come out the leg, arm broken too. So I just spent some time in hospital, and was told by the doctors, look, you won't be able to run again properly and do this and do that. You'll be quite what do you call it? It's not the word. It's not impaired, but restricted. You'd be quite restricted. And I mean, of course, like I've been hit by. I've been in a car crash. I'll never be 100% to where I was before. But who's to say I was 100% back then? I could have been like 70%.
Yeah.
And then after the car crash, I maxed out my potential.
See, Ash, man, hyper positive, man. I love it, man.
So
he's gone back. He's at 150 right now.
So I'm like running and squatting and all sorts, and we're training good. Yeah, we made a great comeback, and I was so lucky. Same as that point in my life where I went and started my actual designer career, this is the same sort of thing. Like it could have been so bad. Like however unlucky I was to be in that situation where I was hit by a drunken driver, I was lucky in the fact that I got hit the way I did. Because when that car approached me from the other side of the road, when it flipping drove into me from the other side of the road, I turned my car. So I think a lot of the impact, instead of going through me, went off to the side.
Yeah.
You know, got deflected, and the car spun. I think it spun like a 50 foot, something like that. I can't remember now the details. But yeah, there was a bit of a car pile up, and and obviously a spoiler, I didn't die. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank God. Yeah.
So, yeah. What else do you want to know about the story?
I guess, how did your outlook change after that accident?
I mean, in terms of like life choices, like if we're talking about the principles of life, nothing changed. Nothing changed. I was always positive.
Yeah.
But moving down to the petty things, everything changed. So where, you know, before if you spill a drink on you, or, you know, you would get upset. You're like, oh, this is nasty. Oh, what am I going to do? You know, in the hospital, I was covered in my own urine at one point, and you would think, oh, this is disgusting. You know, flipping, you know, I'm covered in my own urine, but it didn't faze me at all. It didn't faze me at all, because in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing. You can just wipe it away, clean it. You know, I had my flipping leg half falling off. There were other matters to concern myself with. So, yeah, in that sense, I kind of just like life principles. Would you? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it did change me in that aspect. Just to be a bit more serious. You know, don't sweat the small things. That's what happened to me. Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like living a positive life, living your life to the fullest, no, that's always been there.
Yeah, you've always been that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have. You always bring like to most situations.
try to.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, 100%, man. And so, do you, in terms of like the crash, like, do you think about it much, or how does that, like 8 years on, like, have you thought about it, or does it come to you sometimes like, whoa, like this happened, or is it just now something that you've kind of like dealt with and it's gone, like, and
buried it,
and it's...
No, it wasn't like... It wasn't really a traumatic experience. I tell a lie. I mean, it was actually a traumatic experience, but it's not... Like, I was getting PTSD from it at one point. I was talking to someone, like it's called talking therapies, and I think that's like they've reworded like a counselor. So yeah, I got all the help I could. Why wouldn't I? Just want to, you know, I'm trying to fix my leg, fix my mind as well. And that's where Vipassana helped as well. Yeah, it really come into play.
That was Vipassana post accident?
Pre-accident.
Oh, you done Vipassana before the accident? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I did Vipassana, I think, in March or May. In March, I think, yeah. And then the accident was in October.
Right.
So, yeah. And then just little things, like even when I was in the most ridiculous amount of pain, where, you know, you just think, oh, there's no room for thought. In all that chaos, I still found clarity. It was really weird. So it was kind of like I could control the storm at that point.
Yeah.
Because you'll see in the video, there's a point where I'm in so much pain, like unbelievable pain. And that pain didn't go away. It's not like, oh yeah, Ash, you just shut yourself off, meditating. The pain, that pain's gonna stay there no matter what, you know. It's not like, oh, that pain go away. My body's at one point, my mind is somewhere else. You know, that the pain never changes. You get stronger. That's what happens. And then I just thought, listen, Ash, I'm going through this pain. And I got my mobile phone out. I started recording my pain. Maybe deep down, some might say I'm a bit of a sadist, enjoying the pain. Is it sadist? Enjoys the pain or masochist?
I don't know. You're some kinky guy
anyway. Kinky S&M shit. That's a different podcast. That is.
Get that one on OnlyFans.
Speaking of only,
Mish knows about that.
Bloody fish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like the most important thing, and I've still got the picture, I think, on my phone where it says, keep your mind strong and your body will follow. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And that's what happened. What happened. Because I was broken. Like I was like a crunchy bar, and you think, what the hell? But somehow, and I'm so thankful of modern medicine, because I reckon if this was like maybe 10 years before that, I might have had my leg amputated. So
I guess overall, like, I remember just the appreciation that you had for the nurses and the doctors, and
next level.
Like you were just like obviously like they saved you, right?
I mean, those nurses have seen more of me. I mean, people have seen me naked before, right? But I don't know if they've seen me at those angles, where you can go. I mean, they saw angles, and it's just it's part of the parcel, right? That's why, like, I think like nurses are like angels on earth, and just like the way they helped me, and they were just so selfless. I know it's part of the job, but it takes a special person to do that job.
Yeah, man. So I guess, Ash, like, we've spoken about Crossroads. So cool to hear about like your Vipassana and your story with, the accident that happened.
And the job.
What's your like closing thoughts on everything that we've spoken about today?
I mean, like a lot of my friends always take the piss about being too positive. Like there is such a thing as being too positive. And today I am definitely more. My positivity will never ever go, but on the on the scales and where I'm balanced is I've got a big chunk of realism in there, because there is a certain point where you're just saying, like, if you're a pure optimist, there's a certain point where it becomes delusion, and you're like, so there's this funny gif that everyone sends me, countless people.
Is it the Leonardo DiCaprio one?
No, it's this dog. His dog's in this house.
Oh yeah.
And the house is on fire, and it's like it's burning, and he's like, it's fine, until that dog catches on fire and melts and dies. It's a cartoon dog, by the way. So it's all animated.
Say some animal cruelty.
No.
What kind of shit is your friend sending you?
And that was pretty much me. So but stay positive. In a world that's so messed up today, you're either going to be, you got to do that task, job, or whatever you're doing, your journey, and you can either do it smiling or crying, and I just choose to not cry about it. That's just the way I approach it. Like if you're waking up every day and you're saying, oh look, I hate my job, why am I doing this? Then flipping change it. I don't think you have a right to moan about something if you've got the power to change it. Obviously it's a bit more complicated than that. People might have commitments, family commitments, and they can't, or they won't. I think being comfortable is quite a bad thing. And that's why I'm doing the whole YouTube thing. And I really need to stay consistent with it. And I'm getting highly inspired by my boy, Ritz, because he's been on it like 28 days. And you've recorded a video every single day. I get an alert every single night. And I'm like, damn, this guy. So tomorrow I'm doing the 75 hard with him. And then we're recording B-roll footage, and we're getting mad productive. So, we're on it. I don't know what advice I gave, but Yeah, I've enjoyed being on this podcast and talking.
We'll definitely do it again. I think like there's so many things that we could talk about.
Yeah, man.
We might do one with everyone else as well. Get all the others back and just chat. But thanks, Ash. I love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Cheers.
Cool.
That's the first time you said that.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Cheers, man. Is it my birthday right now? Oh, cheers. 1 minute past.
Oi!
Wicked. Oh, cheers. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.
Peace.